How y'all doing today? This is Jacko right now checking in from the ATL. Man, I hope you're having a beautiful, amazing, blessed day and a very positive day. Remember, do not let negative stuff that's happening in your life make you a negative person. Man, you always gotta know, man, you're that king, you're that queen. You gotta always move forward. As you know, right now we're on the King series right now, bringing in phenomenal kings to just enlighten you and speak to you and to let them know, man, kings come in any shapes, kings come in any colors, shapes, and sizes. So they come in all type of ways. But right now, man, I have somebody that I met at a person that you might know, Coach Dre that done one interview. I met this king at his house. And I mean, the conversation was real enlightful. He gives you knowledge. He makes sure that you always understand about just life, period. So, man, right now, man, I want to do somebody that's a real big person in my life. Since I met him, I think I've been knowing you now, what, not like a month?
About a month, bro.
About a month, and
it doesn't seem like it.
Yeah, it seems like I've known you for a lifetime.
Yes, sir.
And he is one of the people in my life that he is a king that's giving me knowledge, man. That
appreciate that.
That does a whole lot. Like, man, I had to call him one time. We ain't gonna talk about it. I had to call him one time. He had to really get on me. He was like, "Come on, Jacko. You know better. You do better." So, man, I want to introduce you to Coach Tyson. Coach Tyson, man, go ahead and take it away, man.
Hey, everybody, how you doing? I'm Kamal Tyson. A lot of people just call me Coach Tyson. I'm a barber and a person in the community that just tries to look out and represent for our people a lot of times. Happy to be on here. My brother Kyle got this interesting and very much needed platform for just regular, normal people to talk, speak, and to discuss from a king's level, because I think, like he said, everyone is a king within their own right, but we all have to be reduce ourselves down and live this life as well. But to be able to move like a king in this world is to be able to move with wisdom, humility, and integrity. I think that's what it takes to call yourself a king. So on your own land and in your own home, you are the king of your castle. But when kings move off their territory, they also move with a certain elegance, regalness, and a wisdom follows them. So I think that's what I like to bring to this forum as far as discussing what a king should be. And just thank you for coming on in here and coming into the shop.
Okay. Coach, man, like, this right here is an honor for me just to have you on this platform. Like I say, man, if people know that the way he is on this camera right now, he's the same when the camera cuts off. That's the type of king I like to look for. I don't like to look for kings that's, okay, they're one way when the camera's on and they're another way when the camera's off. You're that person that I've been seeing that educates you. They educate other kings. And you don't mind speaking your mind at all. That's the good thing about Coach Tyson. Coach Tyson, I want to ask you a question. Where are you originally from?
Born in New York City. Moved from there as a child very early. Born and raised in Silver Spring, Maryland. That's my place of residence that I call home. But I've also been in PG County with my PG family. A little bit of everywhere. In that Maryland, I guess they call it the DMV now. That DMV area, that's home for me. Georgia Ave. That's Silver Spring. Big shouts to John F. Kennedy, Randolph Road. You know what I'm saying? We legends out there. That's what we do.
Okay. What is one of the kings, as I want you to remember when you was growing up, I want you to tell people what king inspired you and try to give them a story with it too, so they'll know more about you.
Wow, that's big. I mean, if we're gonna start talking about what inspired me as far as
when you was a kid.
When I was a kid, man, I love sports, man. Very active in sports. Had a older brother that just pushed me to be in sports, and I really want to just be just like him.
Okay. You want to shout him out?
Shouts out to my older brother, Brian Tyson. What up, my man? What's going on, man? He was always a great inspiration and pushing me. So really, he was my first, I say, coach.
Okay. What is a good memory too? Sorry to cut you off.
Not even just to go there, but let me push on to the actual coach. Like I said, he trained in the house before we actually got to the field. But I played some years of boys club football, and I ran across a coach that really impacted my life to a great degree. Coach James, Rod James, Rico James, Rick James, y'all dad, is a powerful man. And he taught us some great things out there on that field, and it impacted my life to the point where I had to share it with others.
Okay. What is a good memory of you and Coach?
it's always the rough times. You know what I mean? You don't really learn from the good times. We actually went to the Super Bowl in Little League football. We lost that Super Bowl, but one of my fondest memories were the beginning of the season.
Okay.
Because I played on his team. It wasn't his team. He was actually assistant coach about 2 seasons prior, and I was a little bit of a tough kid to deal with at times, and I had a lot going on in my life, and it was a breakdown in the situation I had with a coach, and we were on a team that was 0-9, and eventually we went 0-10. It was the last game of the season, and I had a falling out with a coach. Dad, he really wasn't even a coach, but I wound up cussing him out. I Tupac the whole team, took the jersey off, threw the helmet at the coach, did everything. You know what I mean? Little kid at the time just broke down, and I left. And I quit and didn't play that last game.
Wow.
And didn't care nothing about the season, didn't quitting. You know what I mean? I don't really quit. I didn't like quitting even that last game, even when we weren't winning. But 2 seasons later, I show up to practice and I find out Coach James, he was assistant coach on that field at that day, and he saw what happened, and he didn't have a chance to really get at me to talk to me. And the first day of practice, he walked up to me and he's like, "Look, let me tell you something. None of that shit is gonna go on." He never cussed at us. That's what he said to me. None of that shit is gonna go on ever again. If you got a problem, you come talk to me. You understand? So automatically off the top, he became an authority figure. And honestly, Coach James was like one of the only black coaches that we had coaching the boys club back in like we're talking about the early '80s, late '70s.
Yeah,
so,
I wouldn't hear yet.
Yeah, I know, I get it, but actually, he was a very powerful image in Montgomery County, Maryland. To have a black head coach in youth sports was very big. Coach Spence, shout out to Coach Spence. Coach Spence was white. He had a college background. He was a great guy on the team. Carlton Wills, D-back coach, great dude. Uncle Carl, what's up, man? These are legendary guys in my life. I'll always be there just because, when I get choked up talking about these dudes from the beginning. The person that can curb your behavior and give you a means to move forward and don't let you get in the way of yourself, it's a very important person.
Okay. So basically, it wasn't just one king. It was several kings in your life to make Coach Tyson who Coach Tyson is right now.
Well, it moved on to later on. I had other coaches as well. Big shouts to Coach Marv Garlic. That's my high school football coach.
So it wasn't just one coach that helped change Coach Tyson.
No doubt. Coach Stefano, my high school basketball coach. They did a lot for me. And then I went on to college and had an opportunity to play under Frank Signetti and his son Frank Signetti Jr. They were incredible men, but they taught me the game. It was a different lesson there. They taught me actually corporate America as well. The framework of corporate America can be learned on the football field.
Okay.
And they ran a program very efficiently, like a corporation. The ups, the downs, and the bad sides of corporations, meaning how much value you have to a situation, who you are. They really ran a tight ship, and I learned a lot. And they taught us the how to win. The real how to win I learned in college. How to be a good person and how to be a better man, I learned with those younger coaches. Okay. But actually how to win, I learned on my last lesson in college on the last team I ever played on.
Okay. I want to ask you something. I'm going to say a word. And I normally don't ask people, because I remember I told you before, I said, your video is going to be different than Coach Dre's. Coach Jay, it's going to be different, right?
Right.
So I'm going to say a word, and I want you to get in true Tyson fashion. Y'all going to love this, because when I told you to get in true Tyson fashion, you know what I'm talking about.
Man.
So,
let's go.
King,
let's first talk about God. He's the king of my life. I claim Jesus Christ as the savior of my life. Yeshua, the many names that we might call him. The Spirit of Christ is really what's in me. Okay, that's really what I'm all about. So his example that he left on earth that we read about, and you can find him in other books, not just the Bible, but his example was remarkable of what a man should be, and what you should live and what you should die for. And that example is what I believe a king should be. Humble, meek, powerful. All these things are characteristics of a king. And the absolute time to use these characteristics is what makes the value of that king. So wisdom, of all things. In my prayer life, what I asked was the wisdom of Solomon. And I really feel like God enhanced me with wisdom when I asked for that. And I asked that as a younger man because I was dealing with some issues and I was in deep prayer and trying to grow. And when I learned the story of David, then that kind of led me to Solomon. And I just dug Solomon because we were kind of like personality-wise the same way. And I appreciate him, and I also saw his weaknesses. And I am the same way. I have several. People know me for my weaknesses as well as my strengths. And I just want to be guided by God's will and help me make decisions by that.
Next word, warrior.
Warrior. That's one of my favorite words because I am a warrior. I'm a warrior by nature. Everybody knows that that knows me well. Competitively, I push very hard. I put everything in what I have, and I demand it as a coach, as a friend, as a person in life. But on where I'm most proud to be a warrior at is on the warrior field of God. When they call the saints home, I want to be in the number with God. And that's where I'm the strongest warrior.
Okay. Family.
Family, man. You're doing stuff to bring tears out of my eyes because that's tough. Family is what I'm made of. That's my fabric. That's my DNA. It's just me, man.
You see, I told you, Coach, I told you when I first met you, when it came down to your video's going to do something to change people's minds. And it's going to keep on doing it. I want you to know that when I speak to you and when I see you, the only thing I see is a king. I see a king.
Appreciate that.
That at the end of the day does not wear his hat like this, don't not wear his pants down, have his pants up, have his shirt out, chest sticking out, crown sticking on his head. And that right there is something that I love about you. Like I say, and people think when you meet people, you got to know people for years and years and years for having an impact on you. Like, you had an impact on my life in 1 month.
Wow.
1 month you had an impact. Every time I call Coach Dre, shout out to Coach Dre. Every time I call him, I always ask about you. Like I always do, because man, whenever you meet somebody can develop this right here. And once you develop that, and then you put it with this, man, the world is something different. So now, we're gonna ask a question.
Yes, sir.
What is something you want to give to the kings around the world? I want you to give them a message just for the king. Let's say you talking to the 18, 19-year-old you, 20-year-old you, like, after you watch right now, what is the message you want to give to them?
Oh, man. For the young kings, up-and-coming kings, man, first off, thank you. I want to say thank you. Thank you for your vigor. The times we're going through right now, I like to see that a lot of our young men are politically aware, and they're standing up, and they feel strong in who they are, in their sense, and they're not backing down at all.
Yes, sir.
And that's something that I teach. Stand up against all things, no matter what the challenge is, big, small, or indifferent, you give it your all. And I see that in the youth right now. I think it's up to us to give them a guided mission now, by our examples and not by our words. Let them talk, let them have our words, and let us move with action. People of wisdom move with action, not with words. That will get us nowhere. But their words need to be heard because it's a cry. And that cry is from our people, and it's from the heart of our people. And they're going to be on this earth the longest from here on out. So it's most important for them and their children to deal with this situation now. Because for us, we've dealt with this. To be honest with you, I hate to say it, but I have seen things get better because I was born in 72, man, it was worse. This stuff was all worse. We're sitting here right now from privileged seats dealing with racism. Back then, we were starving, dealing with racism. Okay? Let's be kings, still dealing with racism in the future for our children. So we can come from a poor level, hungry, dealing with racism, all the way to where we are kings ourselves and finally dealing with racism. Because truthfully, racism will never be eradicated. Because at the top of this system is evilness. We battle against principalities of a higher nature. And people are deceived by these natures. And that has crept into the hearts of the few and has controlled and subdued the earth into evilness. And we have to live past that. And once we see that deception, and once you understand the plan for you, it's easier to fight against that plan. People are just waking up to that plan. And some people thought they had a friend in the system. They really have an enemy because it's guiding you against your true friends. Because we have similarities at the bottom. There's no similarities that anybody at the bottom that has with a person that has $1 billion. You have no similarities outside of your color.
Okay. Next question. Love that one. So I told you, I'm giving you, it's true Tyson fast right. So I'll try to get ready. Okay. This right here, now we're talking about kings. You already talked about the youth, though. That's why I let you do the youth first. What is the message you want to get to kings right now?
Right now, what's been going on a lot of levels, I got to shout out my brother because everybody, and what I do like is we're having a lot of group sessions and a lot of conversations. And everybody's trying to find a way to come together and find out what we should do. That process also brings a lot of frustration because we won't be on the same page. It's only going to prove in the beginning how far apart we already were. So there's a lot of frustration. So what I like to say is don't give up on this process. What's really necessary is that you find the small pods of groups that we can start to invest in group with. To try to make a mass connection right now, it's going to be vulnerable because there's no love there. There's no trust there with each and every one of us. And there's no likeness of mind. If you find like-minded people that you can grow with, the time is to grow. A lot of our friendships, we have to make them financial now. Okay, me and you just met each other, but at some point, we need to get something financial, something we can put together. If it be something for the youth or something we're doing. If we start making our friendships financial, then we'll find that we're in different pods of investment groups. I don't think 10 people trying to get together to do something is a good idea. 3 and 4, everybody knows 3 or 4 homies they cool with. If you click up, you might have 5, 6 different pods of investment groups that you're in. That just diversified your portfolio by just your friendships that you can trust. And that's out of the thousands of friendships we have. Because you're not going to be able to connect with every one of your friends. You're not going to be like-minded. That doesn't mean y'all not good friends, but it's just not like-mindedness. So my biggest thing right now for what we're going through is don't be frustrated with one another as we grow, because growth is a process. Okay, it just doesn't happen overnight. Even if we want the lights to just turn on with other people, everybody right now in their mind believes they understand the truth. And as long as they're receptive to different perspectives, they have the opportunity to expand their truth. Because that's all they can do is expand the truth. No one can change your truth. That's how people don't change, because they feel like you're being manipulated into change. But as long as you're seeing different perspectives with forums like this, all right, different people and friends having different conversations that we never had with one another. We always had it on the surface about friendship. And, you know, some people have been invested in doing this. I don't want to just say that it hasn't, because I have been a part of financial friendships. I've been a whole crew of friends. I love them all dearly. And I will always love my family and my friends. But somewhere in this mix, we got to start becoming financial with one another so we can diversify portfolios and safe investments with solid people. And I think that's what I try to tell people is that group, everybody figure it out thing, that will lead us to nothingness, confusion, and it'll divide us because we'll only be frustrated with one another. Find like-minded people and grow in small groups, and then eventually that mindset will come up.
Okay. And, well, y'all don't know, but every video that I do, he has subscribed to the YouTube channel. But all the kings that's been a part of this King series, I personally send them the video. Even though their notification bell goes off, I send them the video.
Hey, look, shout out to all the kings that recorded before me. I do listen to a lot of the shows, and I've been inspired by a lot.
But I want to ask you a question. What is, out of all the kings, we're going to take Coach Dre out of it, because we already know what you're going to do. We're going to take Coach Dre out of all the kings, because him and Coach Dre, they're real good players. They're like brothers. So out of all the kings besides Coach Dre, what is one of the kings that you like and that you would love to talk about right now? You don't got to be too long, but...
I mean, I got to bring up the brother you brought up to me. I mean,
Jeremiah Richardson.
Jeremiah Richardson, big shouts to you, homie. Thank you for what you're doing out here, man. Jeremiah Richardson is an officer. And Can I expose what we talked about a little bit?
Go ahead.
All right. Kyle called me up with a situation because of the climate we got going on. He did an interview with a friend and his peoples, and he said he's a police officer. And he said, it's a great interview, but with the climate, I don't want it to be misunderstood or put out there the wrong way, and I don't want nobody, trying to protect his friend as well. He didn't want any backlash on him and all those things. And I felt like that was a total wrong approach. There's a perspective in everything. And just because officers are in the news for doing wrong things does not mean we don't have officers out here doing the right things that we actually need on the job.
And we actually need to see that, what you're telling
me. We have to see them, understand their perspective, understand what they're going through, and understand what their goals and their missions are. And then what they're going to do in lieu of what's going on. Do they have a platform to say anything from the inside, or is it something that's suppressed? Because if we find out that it's suppressed, then y'all need to start marching for the people, for the good cops that want to change and can't.
So it's a good thing I didn't hold that video to myself.
No, man, you got to put everybody's perspectives out here.
So Jeremiah Rich, you love the video.
Hey, that's my homie, man.
Hey,
Jeremiah, good piece of.
I want to let y'all know something. You see how he just done that right there? I tell you all the time that I'm a king. He's a king, but kings always need to reach one, teach one. He just told y'all something I didn't want to tell y'all, but I'm glad he did because it's showing you that one king can always go reach in there and get another king to think. And like I had to call him back before we done this video. I called back. I was like, "Coach, I had to apologize to you." I said, "I don't know what was going through my head. I was not acting like the Kyle Jacko I know." But thank you for that moment right there. That moment would always stick in my head because that's one of my king memory moments that I have right now. That it's a real good moment for me because you helped me out because you came in through. Shouts out again to Jeremiah Richardson, aka J. Rich the Pit. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
But you watch the King series, my brother Trey, he passed away like a month ago. We have a moment of silence, man. Want to go to that moment of silence after they go to the prayer, and then we're going to do everything. You already know how it go, man.
Absolutely.
So, man, once again, you should see the name right here. Long live Trey. Man, this right here, that was my brother.
Trey.
Love him. He always was so big in my life.
Hey, you know Trey forever, right?
Huh?
You know he's forever.
Oh, always.
Okay.
Forever.
I was making sure.
So that's why his name on it is, like you see what I'm saying?
Sure.
Long live Trey. It comes up.
Ain't no dead people in this world.
Oh, no. Long live Trey.
No dead people in this world. Nobody ever really dies. You energy. Give me one formula that eradicates energy.
We about to get to go to
crickets. We all live forever. Not in this form, though. Enjoy your time in this form, but guess what? They always here.
Oh, that's why Trey, you walk with me every single day.
Absolutely.
And look, we can make a whole longer video on Trey. We have so much. People I talked to you about when I first met him. When I first met you, I told you about 6 foot tall, more than 6 foot tall, skinny, but had the heart of a lion. So, man, we about to go to Moments House with Trey, because if I keep on talking to Coach Tyson, the video going to be 50 minutes long. So, man, I want y'all to bow your heads with me, close your eyes, and just, man, let's give it up to Trey. Love you, Trey, man, forever and ever, man. Like Coach Tyson said, man, you still here every single day. So every day I walk, every day I keep on doing it. I know you walking right alongside with me. I know you proud of me. So, man, love you. Keep on going up, man. Okay, and then you already know, you know what it's time for. I mean, you watch the video.
Time,
you already know what I say, right? So, hey, man, this is all we gonna do. Hopefully, Coach Tyson don't be like everybody. He get it, man. Now it's time for the motivational
prayer.
Hey, man, these motivational prayers, man, they're insightful. They're amazing in my eyes because I feel like, man, as people, white, black, any color, we all need to pray for each other. We all need to pray for each other, man, because, man, prayer is so big in my life. I can remember growing up, Grandma praying for me to stop doing all the wrong stuff I was doing, and it's always a real good thing. So I think about the prayers like going to Big Mama house. You know what I'm saying? Get ready to eat the food. But you try to plate. Put your hand down. You gotta pray for the food first. So what we gonna do, man, I'm gonna say a prayer and I'm gonna say, hey man, I want you to join another. I want you to say a prayer for just whatever comes to your heart.
Amen. All right.
That's the way to do it. God, thank you for everything you're doing in our life, God. Thank you for everything you're letting us see. God, thank you for letting my brother, big brother, not little brother, big brother, Tyson, Coach Tyson, come on my platform today and be able to speak to the people, show his love in his heart, show his knowledge. And God, for him sometimes at the same time, getting me to get back on my king status, because sometimes, God, we all as men, we all fall down. But as long as we have each other, pick each other back up, God, we will be good. To everybody that's watching this video, I hope they learned a whole lot from this video. I hope they just start just loving life and just loving that stuff, because, God, they got to keep on moving forward. That vision got to keep on being stronger. I want you to put your arms around. I want you to keep on blessing them and their family through this whole COVID-19, through everything that's going on right now. I want you to just keep on blessing and just loving everybody. Amen.
Amen and amen. Heavenly Father, just allow me to chime in, give you thanks for this day. Thank you for this session. Father God, just God bless Brother Jacko over here, Kyle, and this platform that he has, this King platform, Father God. Bless this platform and everybody that has an opportunity to stand on it and speak on it, Father God. Just give all the grace and the glory to you, Father, for all we do, for us trying to reach the youth and us trying to just have a positive vibe for the community, Father God, just being available spiritually, emotionally, and everything. We're just giving you all the thanks, Father God, because you just give us everything we need to make it through what we have to make it through in the day. Keep blessing us and keeping us, Father God. In Jesus Christ's name I pray. Amen.
Amen. All right, Coach Tyson, do you have Instagram?
I do. It's Cool Cat the Barber. At Instagram, Cool Cat the Barber. Big shout out to Cool Cat the Barber. This is the shop at Creekview, formerly Perfection 2 Barbershop, 3295 Snapfinger Road, Lithonia, Georgia. Come on by, holler us out. Facebook, catch me at Kamal Tyson. Hit me up, man. Anything else?
And make sure when you go to his Facebook page, you go to Instagram, you're going to get knowledge. So you go in there to see funny little jokes, you ain't going to really see it. Real knowledgeable person, man.
Hey, look, we just sharing. I don't really try to jump on being that guy that has all the knowledge. I just like being that guy that shares his opinion.
But you have a lot of knowledge, Coach.
Well, I appreciate
you help out
that.
A lot of people, man.
I appreciate that, but I don't want to, I don't want to come across like nobody's professor that I be trying to shoot the knowledge of everybody.
Hey, but
like
you
that.
do though.
And conversations are necessary.
So that's good.
And there's a lot of people, and I thank you, especially. How old are you, brother?
33.
Jesus, boy, you Jesus age right there. Jesus age. Hey, look, brothers out here doing the right thing. I don't want to call them young, because 33 is not a young age until you become a little bit older. But to have brothers out here sharing this word like that is an awesome thing, man. And to be totally sold out to it. See, there's some people out here in this world that are using spirituality, a spirit hustle.
Yeah.
Because it feels good to people, and it confuses people to ride that train with it.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what you're about, bro. You're really about elevation. That's why I'm out here and I'm lending myself and joining in your movement when we're doing, bro. I'm very proud of you and everything that you're doing. For every compliment you give me is double right back at you, because I'm proud of your spirit. He keeps up his word, his commitment. He's truly inspired to bring this out and to hear the perspective of our black brothers. And that's very powerful, very, very powerful. This is going to guide you to higher platforms. He started on his own. The last thing I got to say is, if you don't have a platform, create one. I come from CAU, Clark Atlanta University, Culture for Service, and we find a way and we make one. This brother's finding his voice and he's making his voice, and I really appreciate that. And I'm glad you allowed me to share my voice with you, brother.
Once again, it is an honor, Coach.
Yes,
for real. This right here video is an honor.
God bless.
I don't care how long the video be, 6 or 7 minutes long, man. They got to watch the whole video, man. Hey, this is Kyle Jacko.
Peace. Kamal Tyson, man.
Man, signing out, man. Like, this right here is an amazing person. He's one of the kings of my life. And every king you see come around, trust me, we all politic. We all have vision. We have growth. And, man, this King series is going to be very, very big. We ain't over yet. Shouts out to, remember, I'll tell you about Mr. Eddie Ray, my friend, my life coach. Yeah, he's everything. You know, he's going to, Mr. Eddie Ray Brown is going to finish off July 27th, the King series. Okay. So shouts out to you, Mr. Eddie Ray. A lot of prayers going to you and your family. Your health, everything, Mr. Eddie. We love you. Man, take care. Be blessed. Reach one, teach one.